second. All opposed?
No.
No.
Okay, so 3 do not want to do the nuisance abatement program. Just to make the point here, this is a law enforcement public safety item that we have. It makes neighborhoods a lot safer, so they don't have people with drug issues or criminals congregating in an abandoned lot. Okay, then we have a $1 million motion to allocate to support the implementation of SB 9. Would you like to expand on that, Commissioner Ramsey?
Oh, you skipped one.
Skip.
You skipped a heart response, increased in number of
I
responses.
have SB 9 first, and then I
I'm
have
sorry, I
HART.
didn't see it.
I have nuisance abatement, then SB 9, then HART.
Do I have a different list?
Maybe, but I'll cover both, Commissioner. Okay, so let's do the $1 million reserve to support the implementation of SB 9. So that one is
This is really based on, the reserve is based on preliminary annualized cost estimate of approximately $872,000, which assumes weekend and holiday coverage by visiting judges and includes overtime for the district attorney's office, public defender's office, pretrial services, and the clerk's offices. While the estimate is still rough, based on broad assumptions, we believe this reserve is appropriate given what we know now.
I'll second that.
okay. So we have a motion and a second to advance this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we all want to advance this. Then there's $1 million to expand the holistic assistance response teams.
I'll move it.
So there's a motion. Is there a second to continue this?
I
crime
love HART,
prevention?
but HART is already fully funded countywide, so I will not be supporting that since we've already found ways to support it countywide.
Okay, so there's obviously a whole lot of need left for this, and we're deciding not to meet that need. All in favor of trying to meet the need for crime prevention through the holistic assistance response teams?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we will not be meeting the additional need. Now there is an item by Precinct 3, Commissioner Ramsey. This is $944,008. CCO.
It's the county clerk
Thank
restoring.
you. Okay, so restoring the county clerk as opposed to cutting them, putting them at their current level of service. Is there a second to restoring the county clerk to current level of service? Okay, I'll make the second for that one, Commissioner. So we have a motion, a second. All in favor to supporting our elections and other and other related items.
Aye.
Aye. I'm for it.
Okay, any opposed? So it passes? Okay, so everybody actually likes
To
this
advance,
one.
to advance it.
So, okay, so then,
That was
It's 515 CCO. It's right below SB 9, Commissioner.
okay, then there is a request to do the service enhancement that the Children's Assessment Center requested. That's $920,810.
I'll move it.
Commissioner Ellis moves it. Is there a second to support the Children's Assessment Center? I'll make the second for that. These are kids who've been sexually abused. All in favor of advancing this request for much needed additional services? Any opposed? Okay, so did you say aye, Commissioner Ramsey? Okay, so this advances to the second round. Then we have funding for Harris County Resources for Children and Adult, $900,000 to continue providing mission-critical services to serve foster youth psychological evaluations. Okay, motion by Commissioner Garcia. Is there a second to advance this to the second round?
Second.
All right, all in favor? We all are good to advance this. Then there is the JP salary increase of 30%, $696,000. Commissioner Garcia would like to advance that salary increase.
Second.
Commissioner Briones would like to advance that salary increase. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? I would not like to advance that. I don't think we have money for more salary increases. In fact, I think we should put those to the voters, but it'll advance. Okay, then we have a salary increase of 29%.
That's the same thing.
That's the same thing. Okay, then we have a $615,000 increase or restoration to kill the cut to the Department of Economic Opportunity so that they can preserve their early childhood initiatives position and continue supporting the Early Childhood Impact Fund and the RAND evaluation and restore funding in support of policy analysis for the programs. Motion by Commissioner Ellis to continue the evaluation of early childhood programs. Is there a second? To continue to not cut a necessary early childhood initiative position. I don't know in what world we decided to just hate on the children, but okay, so this will not advance, and I know that there was a desire not to continue early childhood for 20,000 kids because there was no evaluation. Allegedly, there was an evaluation, but this kills further evaluation. Okay. Again, for the record, I think this is really important. Then we have restoration, so not cutting $600,000 in air monitoring for emergency environmental response and field investigations. Commissioner Ellis moves it. Is there a second to not cut air monitoring? Okay, we will remember this next time we have a chemical fire. And I've, been through a lot of those with my colleague here. So we will keep the cuts to air monitoring. That's what we're doing right now. Is there a $580,000 to convert temp staff to permanent positions, a pilot program?
That's within the tax assessor collector's office. Mm-hmm. She has identified, I think, 36 positions. And I think it would really stabilize a lot that's going on in that department.
I'll second.
Okay, so there's a second to run a pilot to convert temp staff to permanent positions. Is all in favor?
Aye.
For the tax assessor collector, to be clear. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so tax assessor collector on that one. Advances. Is there a desire to restore $500,000 to the Harris County Resources for Children and Adult? Is that not what was already voted on?
Agreed.
Is this different?
So they're different dollar amounts.
Different dollar amounts. Okay, so that's moving.
I agree.
Then is there a desire to restore the funding for our juvenile probation department to support youth who are under the jurisdiction of juvenile courts? So is there a second to support kids under our juvenile courts? I really don't understand why we're picking on kids, but I'm going to go around and make sure the community knows what's
Which one
happening.
is this?
I would
Which one
reconsider
you
this if I were you guys. JPD.
Juvenile probation.
So we're like literally taking
I'm
on
okay on that
children.
one.
Oh yeah, no, I know you would support it, Commissioner. And you may not be a teacher, but you do also have children. Okay, so we're not advancing this the support. We're deciding to cut services for kids in our juvenile probation department so we can keep them from going to jail. Okay, so then let's do, is there a desire to eliminate the cut to the library, $300,000 to restore cuts to library circulation materials, ensuring residents have access to books? Okay, so that will advance. So what does that add up to, you guys? Can you do that math real quick?
I'm sorry, did the library...
Yes.
Yes, that advances. So initially we had $65 million. Now we've killed all the children-related ones pretty much.
We're at 20 million, Judge, but there are multiple proposals for some of these departments. So I know this is annoying, but it
What do you mean? Explain that, because there's a table. And so when we add up that table, you're saying that it doesn't add up to 65 million anymore, and now it's up to 20 million?
Everything that adds up to 20 million, but there are multiple proposals. There's different funding level proposals for resources for children and adults.
Oh, so you want to combine them? Is that what you're
Correct.
saying? Okay.
I know what you probably want to do is take the lower one, since we had 20 and you got to get down to 13.
Right.
Right.
I'm happy to take the lower one, but I think that would
What were you going to propose, Director Ramos?
to take a break so we can come back with what's left on the list.
Okay.
And then see if what combination of different numbers can get us under 13 million. Yeah.
You got to cut 7 million, but it's all right. You can come back. You
All
come
right.
back.
I think okay. So I think we need to take a break. So
Judge,
thank you all. Yes.
I was going to
For an
suggest instead of
executive
taking
session?
a break, there is item 8. I know the county engineer needs to speak on that. If you can do that while they're doing,
And what's item 8?
it's related to the cost recovery,
fees.
the fee schedule.
Fee schedule. The county.
I'm just
fee
trying
schedule,
to move things along so we don't have to come back
fees
to
for
it.
his services, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, correct. Item 8.
Okay, so item 8 is to permit fee schedule implementing cost recovery fees. So, yeah, I don't have any concerns with these motions. Do you guys? All right, so there's a motion by Commissioner
I had some
Garcia.
questions.
All right, there's. Okay, so yes, slight amendments. So, so I'm okay. I frankly, I'm just totally crushed that we seem to be totally immune to not supporting and in fact harming our children.
Point of
I
order,
don't
we're on
understand.
item 8.
So I'm gonna leave it, Commissioner Ellis, to you.
All right, thank you.
And I'll just again for the record, colleagues, I don't know what we're doing here for not standing up for children. Shame on you.
Okay. So Daniel, while we're doing this, you all want to stay in here? If you need to step out, it's okay. And we'll let.
Do you,
Yeah. Well, we want
But
to take
we're
a break. We'll
doing a
let you do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if we
we'll
get
keep
off this,
working.
we'll wait for you.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Rahman.
thank you, Director Ramos. Thank you, Bhumat.
Good evening, members of the court. We do have a very short presentation. Back in October 29th, Commissioners Court directed OC to assess the Hedges County permitting fees and present an implementation plan. We have not adjusted the fee over a decade. Currently, we did an assessment and we recover 74% of the actual direct and indirect cost that the effort we have spent from Office of the County Engineers. So we went back, we hired Ernst & Young to do a comprehensive review of our permits department, not only just on the fee recovery, also on the service delivery approach and how we can improve. With that, I'll let Chief Pina kind of go through the presentation. We have done extensive outreach in terms of discussing with our stakeholders. Chief.
Yes. Thank you, Doctor. Well, good evening, Commissioners. For the record, Sam Pena with the Office of County Engineer. And as Dr. Rahman mentioned, if we can move, advance to the next slide. Next slide. Dr. Rahman covered this one. Next slide, please.
Thank you.
Previous one. Anyways, let me two previous, please. Slide number 3. As Dr. Rahman mentioned, the court directed the Office of County Engineer to do an assessment on the permit fees. We contracted with Ernst & Young to evaluate over 500 fee types. And we also engaged the stakeholders in this process to arrive at the proposal that we're going to be presenting. The truth is that the fees hadn't been adjusted in over 10 years. And right now, we are recovering about 74% of what it costs us to deliver that service, which represents about a $4.8 million gap between what we're recovering and what it costs to deliver the service. We have, and we'll present the numbers here, but this is slide number 3. Before we do that, I want to speak briefly on the performance for the permitting division. And I'll start here with the current demand for performance. As you can see, the increase in permit volume has increased about 20% from 2022. The staffing levels have remained essentially flat. The information that we're going to be presenting, the source for this information, and I listed it here, is for all the permitting functions. It's going to be from e-permits And for the plating information, it's going to be from the CRM system. So as you can see that although the performance indicators have remained essentially flat over the years, the additional capacity is creating stress in the system. And it'll be evident if we don't make some investments, whether in technology or personnel, it'll be evident in the performance and the quality of service, both in inspection times or technical reviews or deferred maintenance. Next slide, please. In terms of the permit approvals, as you can see, as I mentioned, over the years, it's remained essentially flat, but the 20% increase is creating strains in certain levels. The residential, the most simple and highest volume permit type, as you can see, is the residential. On that one, the review process is faster. The 90th percentile for 2025 is 3 days or less. But the more complex and the more the commercial and development sites are feeling a little stress. And if we don't do anything about that in terms of investments, we are really going to start feeling the pinch. Next slide, please. You know what? Before we move forward, I want to stress one point here on the residential aspect. We can go back one slide. In 2024, we saw an increase in the residential, the time it took to approve to rise up to almost 5 days. That was the same time that we were doing disaster recovery for the derecho and Hurricane Beryl. The permitting division staffing does double duty. They're the same persons that we use to do disaster recovery and assessment when something happens. So, I mean, we don't have any surge capacity in that respect. We're taking folks from their primary duty and then reassigning them to the disaster recovery. So that's the reason for having this increase during 2024. In the plating aspect, the 20 days that we list here is for the time that the Office of County Engineer directly controls those documents. And I'll explain a little bit more on the next slide, please. So I want to take you through a high-level walkthrough of the timeline. The Office of County Engineer controls essentially 8% of that entire timeline. It's represented by that time in yellow, and 16% really if you look at the green part, which is the time it takes to bring the item to Commissioner's Court for approval. But 8% is what we control. However, the responsibility seems to be entirely on the Office of Engineering, right? But as you can see, the system has multiple handoffs with undefined accountability. So the first 154 days are with the City of Houston process, the contractor or the developer, before we even see it. At the time that the Mylar is accepted, then and logged in, there's about 13 days before we get it back as a completed product to do the evaluation. We have 21 days where we coordinate and collaborate with other departments, whether it's civil, traffic, flood control, and the consultant. And then it goes back to the consultant to do the completion. And then it comes back to the Office of County Engineer, and that's when the 20 days happen. So as you can see, we control a small part of the entire process. The entire process takes about 250 days, but we're controlling essentially 21 of those days. However, in that time frame, we're already doing some things to try to find efficiencies within that period. We're working with staffing on technical reviews. We're engaging with other departments on the collaboration for the handoffs and more efficiencies. And based on Commissioner Garcia's motion last court, we're going to bring an item to court that will allow delegation of approval for those plats at the end of the process. That should cut down that process by almost half. Those last 20 days. So those are some of the things that we're already doing. Next slide, please. I want to speak in terms of our application approval rates, because there's been some conversation about the length of time that it's taken. We have seen some consistency since 2022 over through 2025. The residential aspects were at 77% approval on the first iteration. Those are the most simple evaluations, but those are also our highest volume permit types. Those are approved at 77% the first and at 90% by the second evaluation. However, the commercial sites and the development performance, although stable, we do need additional personnel or technology to assist us in improving some of these, especially the first and second iteration on the approval rates. Next slide, please. What we have been doing already, even outside the approval of the proposed fee schedule, is internally we've looked for improvements that we can do now, and I've listed them here. We're moving to a continuity of reviewer, so it's one reviewer going to be receiving the same application back after it comes back with comments. That's going to provide some consistency and hopefully move that process through more efficiently. We are also investing in personnel training as well as engagement with the industry to ensure that we have a complete understanding of the technical requirements on the initial intake to speed up the approval process. The third thing that we're already doing is providing an escalation pathway for any discrepancies or any disputes where the applicant has the ability to go to the assistant director in permitting to resolve those issues on the second or third iteration of the review process. In addition to that, in engagement with the stakeholders, we've agreed to the following benchmarks. And these are some of the items that specifically GHBA had asked for. And we've committed to meeting these benchmarks through internal redeployment of resources and focusing on the priorities that are important to industry. In terms of transparency, we've committed to the dashboard and making the data available within 6 months and our website. So we'll be working those items. Next slide, please.
Can you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wrap
Finally,
it up.
this is the schedule, the plan schedule. The proposal is a gradual fee increase over the next 3 years, Commissioner, to reach the target 95% cost recovery
good.
in year 3.
Move to extend the time?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You want to motion?
Yeah, so I move to approve as presented.
I'm sorry. Commissioner Ramsey got some
Oh,
questions.
okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought this was old.
Yeah, before we get to the motions, I've seen the motions. I have a problem with increasing fees when our service is not there yet. I think and the folks I've talked to, we had one of the groups, I think it was the home builders, showed up today, and they expressed concern about the one you referenced, spent some time on, was plating. But I think we've got much work to do. I get more phone calls on permitting than I do anything else.
Yep.
So I think we need to look at what we do and how we do what we do before we start talking about raising fees. Now, if we need to raise money, I guess that's one way to do it. But to raise money when we've got some work to do internally, to raise money, we'll hire some people as soon as we can get additional fees. I'm not going to be supportive until we get some solid changes within the permitting process. And you and I have spent a lot of time on this. I'll not go through the hour-long conversation we've already had. But I think, one, thank you for recognizing you got a problem. Because the first step in solving a problem is recognize you got one. So at least I'm hearing y'all agree we got a problem in permitting. And money's not going to solve a process problem. So you better look at your process before we start looking at increased fees. Now you can proceed with your motion.
Thank you. But recognizing that, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll be
sorry.
very brief. First
Commissioner
of all,
Brianna.
Dr. Rahman, Chief Peña, thank you for your work on this. Thank you. I know we have not raised fees in over a decade. And similarly, with Precinct 4 being one of the fastest growing areas, approximately 60% of permit requests originate in Precinct 4. So I get so many calls given the massive volume in Precinct 4 permit requests. So I appreciate the continuity of reviewer, the dashboard, the transparency, the improved KPIs. And so I know our motion language that P2 and I and P4 worked on together, and thank you to our teams, has some of this ongoing stakeholder collaboration, ongoing process improvement, so that if we're charging more, we're delivering better service. So I appreciate your commitment to that. And that's all I wanted to say, but it's something we'll be tracking very carefully given the massive volume in Precinct 4. So thank you.
Good deal. And Dr. Rahman and Chief Peña, thank you for your collective work on this. I tend to agree with Commissioner Ramsey on the hesitation to raise fees. However, given where operations are currently at, I think it's necessary. So my motion is going to read as such. It's going to be to approve as presented the Office of County Engineers Year 1 FY 26 fee schedule beginning October 1st, 2025. Funds collected will go back to the Office of County Engineering to cover permitted expenses, including the cost of staffing and continued improvement of operations and system updates. Secondly, it will be to direct the Office of County Engineering to report back to Commissioners Court by November 13, 2025, with a plan for using artificial intelligence and other software improvements to make the permitting process faster, more accurate, and easier for the public to use. Those are my two motions.
And so I totally agree and second those two prongs. There's three others that relate to this. Direct OCE to return to Commissioners Court in 1 year for discussion and possible action on a fee schedule adjustment for FY27. Another prong is direct OCE to establish a quarterly working group, including representatives from all 5 court offices, relevant county departments, and external stakeholder groups to identify process improvements, performance benchmarks, and KPIs to continuously improve efficiency, transparency, and accountability in platting and permitting operations.
Second.
And then direct OCE supported by other relevant county departments, including the Harris County Fire Marshal and Flood Control District, to create a public dashboard displaying performance benchmarks and KPIs for process improvements for platting and permitting.
Commissioner, would you be willing to add the Public Health Department in that list?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Second.
And I see Director Barton excitedly shaking her head and thumbs up.
And one footnote to add
Thank you.
to either one of these motions would be consider a penalty for the bad actors that bring you a set of drawings that aren't ready.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
we charge everybody the same, but the people that are causing the problem should pay more. And if y'all could look at that from a fee schedule, some logical fee schedule, I think that would be helpful.
I agree very much.
So how much money will this raise?
Commissioner, the projected, once we reach the 95% recovery, we're going to be recovering about $4.6 million out of the 4.8 gap.
I want to think about it, so we ought to hold this item. If I had to vote on it tonight, I'm going to vote no, much as I hate to agree with Ramsey. You know, I might be persuaded, so we just hold this to the next court. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
And really quickly, Dr. Peterson,
Motion. Vote.
Yeah. As a motion, second, you want to vote tonight or fail tonight?
Yeah.
Or you want to hold it?
Nope.
I think
move.
it.
Let's move.
Okay, let's vote.
Let's go.
For
So-
clarity, where was the amendment going to be added for the public health?
That was going to be in Commissioner Briones' last motion.
Yeah, and direct OCE supported by other relevant county departments, including Harris County Fire Marshal, Flood Control District, and Harris County Public Health, to create a public dashboard displaying performance benchmarks and KPIs for process improvements for platting and permitting.
If it includes a penalty, I'll vote for it.
Okay.
So move.
And
You want to put that in?
motion to
That's
determine a penalty
I support
for bad actors.
I support it. You know the industry better than we do, so
Yeah,
I'll
because I know they suck up more resources when they're not following the rules. So I support that.
Okay. Members, you've heard the motion. Properly second. All those in favor vote aye.
Yeah, motion by Commissioner Garcia, seconded by Commissioner Briones.
Correct.
Yes.
Aye.
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 Okay. 4 ayes and no nays. I'm glad to bring you along, Commissioner Ramsey. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rahman and Chief Peña. And Dr. Peterson, I know we don't have time to discuss today, but I really would please love your thought partnership on appropriate fees with regard to flood controls portion of the review, but we don't need to talk about it today. But thank you so much.
Let's go back to the budget item. Mr. Ramos, you want to?
Yes, Commissioner. So by taking the lower of the items that advanced to the next round, that got us to 11.6, which if folks were accepted, we now have a balanced budget with some pending items.
I move to accept.
So let me say this. You have 900,000.
Do you want me to read them out?
Yeah,
That might be easiest.
yeah, we have them here.
Did you send a version to all of us?
Yes.
Okay.
And your staff has a
Thank
copy.
you.
It's
Can
this
you
one.
give me 1 second, please?
It's the printed one, Commissioner Briones.
It equals 11.68.
So how much money you have left?
It would be about 1.5 million,
So
which I think Commissioner Ramsey might try to take a portion of for the constables on item. I forgot what item that is.
21. We still
21.
got to do 21, but that one can be budget neutral this year because they're taking the money out of their own funds.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, Commissioner, if you wouldn't mind,
yeah, go through them.
Okay, so we have the emergency response dockets, 2.56 million. Restoration for the district attorney's office, 2.5 million. Restoration and covering the grant lapse from the federal government for IFS, 1.67 million. Reserving $1 million for SB 9. That would mostly be overtime for the various justice departments. Restoring the county clerk's budget, 944,000. Children's Assessment Center restoring their cut and granting their enhancements, 920,000. The JP salary increase of 30%, 695,000. One thing to note, John, I don't know if you want to jump in on the JP salary, what the mechanics would be.
Well, the issue is you've noticed those salaries and the grievance process has started, so you cannot make the amendment today because we don't have the time to notice this. So I think the proposal was to create
Set
a
a
resolution in support, right? Yeah.
Resolution.
Yeah. So if we can just clarify that. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about
I
that.
move to support.
Yeah.
I think your original motion covers that, so I think we're
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
tax assessor collector, 580,000. Resources for children and adults, 500,000, and then public libraries, 300,000, and that equals 1,681,580. And it's okay to leave a little in the for a rainy day if
The total is
very little.
11,681,580.
180.
correct.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you,
Would you like
Director
to move
Ramos.
them as a slate?
Yeah. Is that motion to move it as a
So move.
Second.
second? Motion made by Garcia, second by Ramsey. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote no. 4 ayes and no nays. Item passes.
And Daniel, did we pass the hiring freeze?
We did it, so that would be the next item. I know I've seen a couple amendments come through if folks want to read those out.
Okay.
Yes, please.
And
Thank you again, Director Ramos and team.
Yeah, that's item 2.
I have a great team that I'd like to take a moment to thank them for all the work
Seriously,
that they did.
it's been thousands of hours. It's amazing.
Right.
I'm so impressed by y'all. Thank you.
Okay. So now we're back to item 2 on the hiring freeze.
Yes, sir. So just really quickly, we can make the amendments and adopt today, or we can make amendments and I can bring it back for final adoption on the 18th, whatever Commissioners Court would prefer.
Let's try to get it done today.
So just to be clear and to level set, to make sure we're focused on facts this evening, can you very briefly summarize how we all worked, all 5 offices, OMB, OCA, HRT, to come up with this, and then very clearly exempted many departments from this? Could you please go through that? And I support these additional ones right here.
Sure. So the genesis of this one was, Commissioner Garcia has been ringing this bell for a while. We reached a point where additional cuts was going to become very difficult. So we looked at something more blanket. So we drafted an initial policy which went to the court offices along with all of the county departments, and before that, it actually went to HRT for some of their technical advice. From that point, we heard lots of feedback from commissioners' court offices, from departments on various exemptions. We did our best to be judicious. We felt there was a very high bar to be exempted as a department, mostly departments that are SB 23 related, revenue generating, and also anything related to elections, just given what a huge undertaking that is. From there, we submitted this, a more final version, which includes the exemptions on the last page. I think the two motions I saw were to add a couple additional exemptions.
To exempt HART, RISE, and purchasing expressly. I support adding those to the last page of this policy.
So that's a
Team,
motion.
what do you think?
You do it as a motion, or you going to do it later?
I think that's a motion.
So I move to pass the hiring freeze SOP with all the exemptions included, with these three additional ones, exempting HART, RISE, and purchasing.
Motion made by
addition.
Commissioner Brianna, second by
Me.
Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed vote no. 4 ayes, no nays. Item passes.
And then if we could adopt the policy as amended.
Okay, and now the motion by Commissioner
So moved.
Brianna, second by Garcia for the overall policy. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed vote no. Ellis votes no. 3 ayes and 1 no. Okay. What's left?
We have a budget, Commissioner.
Okay. Is there a motion on the budget?
Congratulations. So move.
Oh.
So are we going to, we're not going to vote on the tax rate today?
No. We voted on the
noticing.
the notice. We are recommending the no new revenue rate, which does not allow us to notice a rate if there's a desire to go.
So we're not voting on that today.
No.
We voted on the others, but we not voting on that.
Unless there's a desire to present a rate.
Well, there's a bit of a nuance, and I'm just going to ask the question, because the interesting thing about this no new revenue, it's higher than the VAR. We're not allowed to do anything higher than a VAR. Are you perfectly fine with adopting a tax rate higher than the VAR?
Yeah, the statute reads that way. It's kind of odd, but that's how it reads. And so our advice is you can follow the statute and default to it.
That you're fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to be sure.
So to be clear, to default to the NNR.
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
So
Because
move.
that's the penalty for not doing it. Okay.
That's right.
This
It's
is
very
a
odd.
flash in the pan, Commissioner. This is not going to be the case in most years. It's just we've been very
I know
aggressive
why it
about
happened. That's
Yes.
buying down debt. This will likely never happen in all of our tenures again.
and we need.
Move to adopt the proposed budget.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Garcia. Is that second?
Sorry, a motion to notice the proposed budget.
To notice it again, you get it for the record. Motion is to,
Can you say it out, Jay?
Just to set a public
Need to do
hearing.
21 before we do this.
If the constables are going to,
I think we need to do 21 before we have that vote.
okay.
Yes, I would like to, please.
okay, let's go to item 21.
I think we voted on this before. We'll look at it again. What I'm proposing is that we give the constables, the 8 elected constables, move their pay to $292,796. This is approximately 17% spread between their chief deputies. I think the spread between the sheriff and his chief deputy is a bit more than that, maybe 33%. So I think it's a reasonable number. There were some conversations we had previously, and that would be the motions related to that. The other thing I would say is the constables have dollars in their accounts to fund this. So this is budget neutral in terms of impact to the budget.
So I voted in favor of it before, and I stand by that vote.
Commissioner Garcia.
I cannot support the numbers presented. However, I do want to thank the constables for at least meeting me halfway. They have met me halfway by submitting the MOUs to consolidate the property rooms, which will save money, will alleviate some liability to them individually, and get me closer to where we can actually have a more comprehensive way of doing some public safety business. So the current proposal is that the constables are currently making $178,505. This would take them up to $292,796, which would be an increase of about $114,291, which is about a 64% increase over last year. But the year before, their salary was $133,598,000, and they got themselves a raise through the grievance process, which they're currently in, which gained them $44,907. So that's a total of $159,198, 119% increase over 2 years if these new raises pass, which would be more than doubled. So we voted to give parity to our deputies with HPD, so they're getting their raises. And but none of them are obviously getting 119% increase. However, again, I'm grateful that they have met me halfway. They've heard the opportunity that consolidation can bring. We've had some conversations which they did make the case that there could have been savings had we created some consolidations much earlier. With that being said, the whole argument behind this particular issue is that they would not be making or they would be making less than their second in command, their chief deputies. I think every one of us has a chief of staff that makes more than we do, which I'm absolutely good with because I could not do this job without the competent and capable chief that I have. But since that's a bit of a discomfort, but recognizing that the full proposal that I had requested was consolidation, not only on the property room, but also on dispatching. And dispatching would make Harris County, consolidated dispatching would make Harris County much safer. It would help alleviate the pressure that the sheriff has in terms of all the call volume that he calls for service volume that he has. It would allow us to collaboratively make good use of all the resources we have on the street. But I have not gotten any MOUs on the dispatching. So I'm willing, Commissioner Ramsey and Commissioner Briones, to meet us halfway. So I will support raising the salaries to 235, but not the 292.
235?
235.
Not 260?
If we can, I just hope that if we can get your support, Commissioner Ramsey, on moving the conversation of consolidation of dispatching forward, I'm absolutely, I can go with the 260, but I really, really would like for a commitment on the on continuing the work on consolidating dispatching.
Well, I don't know that we can. I don't know if you can make those kind of commitments tonight. And you mentioned, Jonathan, that there was a posting issue.
Yeah, so the issue with all this is you cannot amend the budget to set those new salaries. The grievance process has to play out, or you'd have to notice those new salaries and kick out the budget adoption meeting past the 18th.
But you could post a special meeting past the 18th.
Of course, there's a practical issue which Daniel can explain regarding PeopleSoft. I have spoken to some of your offices about a way to get around that I think would work. But
I would need 3 votes to have a special meeting.
Yeah.
So
Odds are I don't have 3 votes.
So Commissioner Ramsey, let me just ask a question because there's something else that's been brought to my attention. Jonathan, would I be able to, or would the court be able to make some request, short of a demand, that that our county law enforcement not cooperate with ICE?
I would like to take the discussion into executive session, given there's tremendous legal risk around that. And I do think there's some things we could do around that, but there have been some executive orders on the topic that I'm sure you know.
Gotcha. But Commissioner Ramsey, I'm willing to meet you halfway. I'll do the 260, but I cannot go to the full 292.
So I got a couple of questions. Is this item broad enough to take into account other elected officials? I stated when this came up that I'm opposed to it. It strikes me as rather unseemly with a $200 million shortfall. I mean, everybody wants a pay raise all the time. But to go and do that, regardless of who it is, during a time when you're severely cutting programs that matter to everyday people. But if you are going to do it, what I asked for, knowing that we got an Office of County Administration, a lot of great people, was that if this item was going to come up, it'd be broad enough so we can take into account the tax assessor, the clerk, everybody else, other than us, only because I didn't want to go so far. But that item was not.
Commissioner,
So I would be for a special meeting, by the way. You
Yeah,
get my vote to do a special meeting, but I want to have a special meeting where everybody else is on it. I'm stating now, I'm against it. But if you're going to do it, I think you ought to do it for all of these other elected officials with the exception of us, by the way.
My caveat, Commissioner Ramsey, because you touched on it earlier, is that this come out of their existing budgets.
All right, so just to be clear, I made the motion for 292. You responded and you said the highest you could go was 235.
I came back with a 260.
So we are at 260?
Correct.
I'll accept 260, recognizing we still got a posting issue, which I would have to expand my motion to, I'll modify it and make it 260 with the understanding we're going to have a special meeting on the 18th.
That will
No, after the 18th, Commissioner. That's the
18th.
challenge, yeah.
So if I might, I want to go back to that other issue just for 1 second. So is this broad enough to include other elected officials?
So this one isn't, but item 2, which is about the entire budget, which contains all those salaries.
So if you all start working that up, so whatever we're going to do, I just want to make sure.
And Commissioner Ellis, if I could just ask, Jonathan, we could include the JPs on that special meeting, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, and what I'd like, Mr. Ramos, you all prepare is a motion. Whatever, I know some elected officials may make more than this amount. So I just want to take whatever this dollar increase is and put that on the other elected officials.
Daniel, can you explain the PeopleSoft process and
Sure.
how this might trip up this whole issue?
So the issue is that it takes about 10 days for OMB and Universal Services and the auditors to upload the budgets in advance of October 1st. So all the budgets are loaded, encumbrances can be made, people can get paid. So I think, John, what we talk about is...
I think what you would need today for this to work is to direct the budget office to upload is the term? Upload the proposed budget that you just approved. And you all have to agree that you can't come back and make those changes at the next meeting, right? We would have to redo the vote on it at that special meeting, but the special meeting would be limited to just those salaries. And if you can agree to that, I think that would work. Because Daniel's team
so we would notice today?
We would notice it whenever the commissioners.
We would notice tomorrow, and then we'd have to have a special meeting 10 days from now.
That's right. Yeah.
To adopt the budget and those salary increases.
Correct.
So that would be, I think, the 25th through the 29th.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is the budget is broad enough to do that for those other elected officials. So you want to run that number so at least you know what we're voting on. And what I want to do is, I'm not sure, I haven't looked at the list of what the DA makes as an example. But so whatever this dollar amount is, I want to add that to the salaries of those other countywide elected officials.
Commissioner,
Dollar amount to 260, whatever is 260.
178 to 260.
Yeah, 178 to 260.
And then, Commissioner, I know we have other executive session items, so maybe you guys can go to executive session.
And
we
you can
come
work
back
it
with
up,
the
so at
numbers.
least we know what it is.
So the motion on the table right now is to provide the constables an increase up to 260. And we're going to notice a special meeting. Do we need to define what that is?
We can come up with some motion language if you give us a few minutes so that you can.
So you can do that after executive session. Is that what you're
Sure.
saying?
I think that's fine.
Okay.
And you got my part clear on other elected officials as well?
I think we got it, Commissioner.
Okay. Daniel, you clear on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
understood. But it's a dollar amount, right? Not a percentage, not
Because
anything.
someone may, I don't know what they all make. Somebody may make more.
Yeah, it's the delta between the 178 and the 260.
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
all the other members of court on board with that? Oh, we'll need.
I think we need to vote
We got to vote on
separately,
it.
frankly.
Yeah. Or they
And
may
then
not
just
be, but at least, yeah.
So
And just to confirm, again, just to level set. So the whole effort that we went forward with regard to pay parity for all of our sheriff's office at various ranks, and then constables, various ranks. And I know that was, again, countless hours of everyone working together, came to an agreement. And then obviously HPD was a 5-year salary increase of approximately 36.5%. We have reached an agreement with both the sheriff's office and the constables for all of their officers. And because the chief of police for HPD makes $325, our Harris County Sheriff deservedly $330, and that's included in version 4 of the budget book, correct?
that's correct.
And so then the number, just to level set, the number 292 was the number OMB gave the constables based on that 17% delta that they had discussed.
That was the agreement between the sheriff and the constables.
So that was an agreement between the sheriff and the constables based on number 1, number 2 in their office. So there's a whole litany and history behind these numbers. And so to me, the reason why I voted both for for the sheriff to make sure, given that to me, he has an even more complicated job than, and I love Chief Noe Diaz of HPD, but the sheriff, there's more people in the unincorporated, plus he has, than in the city of Houston, plus sheriff has the jail. So deservedly, the 330 is memorialized in the budget, correct? And then
Correct. And that was
that
was
number
the motion that passed.
292 is given by the budget office to the constables based on the
Just
sheriff
to be clear,
agreement,
that I
based
did
on the
not
agreement in the negotiations, correct?
just to be clear, for the supervisors, we asked them, the unions, the sheriff, the constables, to sit and make a recommendation on the supervisors because our supervisors don't match like for like
Right.
with
No, I agree.
HPD. There was, for lack of a better term, there was a gentleman agreements between those offices on how they would handle executive pay. I have never nor will ever make a recommendation on elected official salaries.
Okay, so this was all part, again, so the way I see it is about being consistent and clear. We have this 5-year deal, and this was within the context of those salary negotiations that they had their deal, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then just to be clear, these constable raises, whether the number ends up being 230, 260, 292, they have offered to have it come from their own budgets,
That's
correct?
my understanding.
Okay. And then meanwhile, we've had complications with additional new laws passed at the state, which we also have to contend with, correct? And
Yes.
it's a myriad of topics, but we don't need to get into that. So in sum, there is, in addition to all the grievances, which I know we're going to talk about in an executive session, there is a kind of holistic approach that we have worked on with the sheriff's office and the constables to achieve this parity, which all leads back to HPD, right? So there's a genesis. So to me, we need to vote on the two motions separately because there's just a very different than the pay parity that we've worked tirelessly on, and then all electeds, and then some of those electives have already filed grievances. So I would like to chunk it out just so we can be crystal clear on what we're voting on. And so I just appreciate, again, I know that was another colossal effort that you helped champion. So with that, I know we have to go to executive session on the grievances for the other ones.
But we can still vote on salary. John?
With the notice language and the special meeting
we're working on
language.
some language for you. Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I'm clear on it. So
We'll get
the
the
district
math
attorney
and-
as an example. And we talk about pay parity. I mean, I'm just worried about how would the DA feel or these other elected officials feel. What does that do for their morale? If they got to take it out of their budgets, take it out of their budgets. If they're worried about morale on their team, don't take it. You know, I know of instances around Texas where a pay raise is given to an elected official's office. The elected official opts not to take it, maybe for political reasons, opt not to take it. But you got it clear on working that up. Okay.
I will do the math. John will do the the motion language, and we'll marry those two.
So, John, I mean, what's our item to go back on executive session on?
So I know we have 19, and we need to. What's the item?
Commissioner Ellis.
Yeah.
So in this, just to
And
for
one.
clar-
Go ahead. Jason.
Okay, sorry. For clarity, this $82,000, like we had a JP increase of 30% in this.
Yeah.
That's less than the $82,000.
I'll leave them out then.
Okay.
Okay.
There's just a lot of nuance. So I appreciate you all working through it so that we're crystal clear and in compliance with all applicable rules. So thank you.
Thank you very much. What are the items for executive session?
There's 1 and 9 on the grievance. There might be a question, and then 19 on the economic development.
Does that work? So it is 1, 19, and what else?
It's 1 and 9. I think are the grievance committee items, right? And then 19 for the economic development.
So we're all right. We're good, colleagues. It is now 7:37, and we will go into executive session on items 1, 9, and 19. Thank you. Okay, colleagues, it's now 7:59. We're back in session. Jesse? Jay, which item we on first? Which item we want to do first?
I think that's good.
Yeah, okay. I'll sit down.
Budget?
Actually, I got two motions for universal services that she
Okay.
needs to have done. The first one is a motion to direct universal services to assess technology across the county, including all departments that utilize the county's technology infrastructure. Universal Services will propose a plan focused on consolidation of technology services across the county that is within the core competency of Universal Services, including network, data center, licensing, applications, and other proprietary hardware and software solutions. The plan will come back to Commissioners Court on December the 11th, 2025. That's a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, vote no. 4 ayes, no nays. Item passes.
Second
What
motion.
item is this on?
I just
this
put it under
is-
item 2.
What is it?
It's under item 2, correct?
Item 2.
Under item 2. The second motion under the same is motion to direct Universal Services to work directly with the purchasing office to evaluate all technology purchases that interact with the county network regardless of the cost, including but not limited to P card purchases and any other form of technology purchases across the county. Universal Services will provide an audit report on a quarterly basis to the Commissioners Court starting January of 2026.
Motion's been made. Is that second?
Second.
Motion's been seconded by Commissioner Briones, made by Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. 4 ayes, no nays. Item passes. The motion passes.
Now, motion on the grievance?
Okay, the motion on the grievance process. That is item 1.
Yes. I move to direct the Office of Management Budget to present options in the FY 2026 budget for increasing each elected constable's salary to $260,000, providing 82,000 salary increases to the wait a minute. Oh, revised version. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me read this over. Move to direct Office of Management
Commissioner,
Budget.
what item is this on? Is it on the grievance committee or on the budget? On 2. Yeah, this is on 2, Jay.
On the.
Can you hold on a second? They just print me a quick copy of it. Make sure I got the right
Do you
one.
have the motion I need to make?
Jay, did you send them?
Yes, on the budget ones?
Yeah, on all of them.
Yeah, I sent it forward to the confidential. I sent it forward to the confidentials. I think.
I think Commissioner Garcia is reading through all of them.
Yes, this does not include the grievance.
You got 2 copies?
This is all the budget.
Give it to one of them.
So
Ramsey.
so the motion is to move to direct Office of Management Budget to present options in the FY 2026 budget for increasing each elected constable's salary to $260,000, providing a $82,000 salary increase to the following elected officials: county attorney, county clerk, district attorney, district clerk, justices of the peace, tax assessor collector, and the treasurer.
No, Commissioner, not justice of the peace. You agreed on
Yeah, we
something
took them
else.
out.
Okay, so scratch, that one's written in here?
That's
Okay.
my fault. I apologize.
Okay, tax assessor, collector, and the treasurer. Move to direct HRT to send and publish notices and take other action as required under applicable law. Move to set a public hearing on September 24th at 10 a.m. or at the next earliest date that can be properly noticed in accordance with applicable law to consider the Harris County proposed FY 2026 budget as amended, and to direct the Office of Management Budget, Office of County Administration, and all relevant departments to execute and publish all related notices.
So I want to stress as much as we can, stick with that September 24th date so we're not scrambling to get 3.
And one more motion, Commissioner, that didn't make it in there. It's a motion to direct OMB to post the budget that was agreed upon today into PeopleSoft.
So move.
Added to it. Okay.
So let me be clear on what the motion, my original motion was to direct OMB to present options in the fiscal year 26 budget for increasing each elected constable's salary to $260. As I said earlier, they're paying for it out of their dollars. So that's a budget neutral. So is that one motion? This looks like four motions.
Separate motions that are all related.
All right, and then the second one, providing an $82,000 salary increase.
That was Commissioner Ellis's.
That's mine.
So we'll
so
vote
maybe you
on
want to vote on
one.
each one separately, but what you're doing essentially is restarting the budget process so you can approve salary increases for elected officials. So if you want to have a discussion on which elected officials will get those increases and which won't, and if you want to vote independently on that, we can vote on that. Was it the second motion, Jay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Second motion.
So maybe we should take a vote on that first. Yeah.
So let's a motion to direct OMB to present options in the FY26 budget for increasing each elected constable salary to $260,000. That will be coming out of their existing budgets.
Motion made by Commissioner Garcia. Is there a
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ramsey. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed vote no. I vote no. The second one,
Second motion is to provide a $82,000 salary increase to the county attorney, county clerk, district attorney, district clerk, tax assessor collector, and the treasurer.
I'll second it. And I'll state, if I might, reason I voted against the first one was I prefer we not do it at all. But if we are going to do it, I think we ought to do it for everybody. So that's why I'll second the motion on this one. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
No.
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 Okay, 3 ayes, 1 aye, 3 noes. Is that correct? Okay. The next one?
Move to direct HRT to send and publish notices and take other action as required under applicable law.
Motion made. Is that second?
Second.
All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote no. 4 ayes, no nays. Item passes.
Move to set a public hearing on September 24, 2025 at 10 a.m. or at the next earliest date that can be properly noticed in accordance with applicable law to consider the Harris County proposed FY 2026 budget as amended and to direct the Office of Management and Budget, Office of County Administration, and all relevant departments to execute and publish all related notices.
Second.
Motion's been made by Garcia, second by Brianna. All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed vote no. 4 ayes, no nays. Item passes.
Move to have Office of Management and Budget load the budget into the PeopleSoft system. Is there like a date?
I'm good. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion made by Garcia, second by Brianna. All in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed vote nay. 4 ayes, no nays. Item passes.
And
Now we need the motions on the grievance committee. Those were circulated earlier, but
before we do those, John, just to be 100% clear, for today's purposes, we have passed every motion with regard to the budget, posting it, that needed to happen today, correct?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
So the first motion will be to approve resolution and to direct the Office of County Administration to submit the resolution to the Salary Grievance Committee and to take a position supporting the increase to the Justice of the Peace salaries at the committee.
Commissioner, I
I'm
think
sorry, could you please-
we'll just renotice the JP salaries.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So do you need the constables in here?
No, we're good.
Okay. So you don't need this motion at all?
No.
Now, the motions we need are just for the composition. You want me to just read them out and then y'all can
Yes.
vote?
Could you please?
My understanding is you want to approve the composition of the committee with the elected officials?
Correct.
Okay. So move to establish the Salary Grievance Committee pursuant to Local Government Code, Section 152.014A1.
Correct. So move.
And that is elected,
Yeah, that's with the
not
elected.
the way it was done before.
Correct.
But just to be clear, it's a mix.
It's a mix of electeds and members of the public.
So move.
Okay. Then
Second.
Second.
I second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
You call
Aye.
a vote?
Yeah, all those in favor vote aye.
No.
All opposed
so
vote
it's
no.
3-1.
3 ayes.
And I And I move to appoint the tax assessor collector to be one of the
She
members.
will be on the
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Number 2 is move to adopt and enter into the minutes the randomized list of individuals eligible to serve as public members as provided by the county clerk and the district clerk. And so they provided that earlier.
So move.
I'll second. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed vote nay.
All right,
Three ayes, one nay.
Third one, move
no.
to select in the order of the randomized.
That was a unanimous 4-0.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1, okay.
Tom?
Aye.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, if I didn't agree with the first one, I would
Yeah.
agree with the second.
And then the third is move to select in the order of the randomized list provided by the clerks, the number of public members required to compose the grievance committee and 40 alternates.
Motion.
And if, for example, in this mixed composition that got the 3 votes, if one of the electeds can't go, isn't that person replaced with a
Yes,
member
you
of the
have to have
public?
9 members on the committee, so whoever can't
Public
show
person,
up.
not another elected.
That's
Right.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
all right?
you, Mr. Fonbaum.
Motion made by Commissioner Garcia. Is that second? I second it. All those in favor vote aye.
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 All those opposed vote nay.
No.
3 ayes, 1 nay. Commissioner Ramsey votes no.
And does that take care of our business? Okay, I
Think
got,
so, Commissioner?
Commissioner Ellis, I got one thing. Earlier this morning, we started the meeting by recognizing a moment of silence for the life of Judge Amy Martin, who had so much life in front of her. I just learned a little while ago that, the degrees of separation are pretty small. She was married to a Houston Police Department captain, and so prayers and condolences to Captain Becker in this tragic loss. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, colleagues, anything else? It is now,
Just for clarity, item 21, no action.
that was it. You don't want to go home? You want to stay here? What else? Daniel, something else?
It was taken as a vote on 2, but it's the same thing. Yeah.
So I'll show 21 and 19 was the executive session item, no action.
No action on
No
it.
action.
Judge,
Daniel, go ahead.
I think the motion to notice the general fund budget, did we do that one already?
I thought that was part of the motion.
Okay, then we're good. Yep.
Okay, hey, you did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you,
It is
team.
now 8:11, and Commissioners Court is adjourned.